Okay, so remember that they're changing my voice. So what the writing on the right says, and you probably can read it more easily than I can if you take a screenshot and zoom in. Again, they blur my pictures and so on and so forth. So I took a screenshot of an old picture from another channel, and it basically says that I'm 9 inches taller, I'm faster than he is, I have better footwork, the Falcon Focus, I have surgical strikes in a way that are more surgical than his because you got to consider distance. If your arms are like, half again as long as someone else's arms and you're just as surgical or more surgical, then you have more surgical strikes, right? You have to consider distance. Again, no offense to anybody, these are the facts. And I'm sure everyone with sense can agree that doing the facts justice in the story of humanity and the story of the top martial artist ever possible's life is more important than not catering to people's insecurities and sense of pride and propriety and so on and so forth. So when you look at the picture again, they made it so my body shape, right, if you look carefully at this time, resembles like a gay person. Think about how a gay person would do martial arts, right? They try to put some gay into it. And I'm sure everyone with sense can agree that telling the truth about who I am and how I looked and what it means for the history of humanity and your understanding of who people are and who you are and so on and so forth, right? Interpersonal intelligence, existential intelligence, spatial intelligence, how 3D objects relate in nature, naturalist intelligence, logical intelligence, what have you. But these things, to tell the truth about it, is key in helping people cultivate intelligence, but more importantly, in doing God and I justice. I don't naturally look gay. They've been fuming me and poisoning me, and I even have in my spine, it appears that it's been calcified to a large degree as a result of when they fumed me back in 2017. They caused me to have back problems, right? I was crippled for several days. I was blinded for several days. I was crawling around and so on and so forth. And I think my neck had calcified, and it caused my neck to kind of protrude forward. And my body shape has changed, and it threw off the whole way my body's aligned. And that's something that some very jealous person would do. Think about Hera, for example, in Greek mythology, or petty Greco-Roman types and their offspring, if they maintain that pettiness that you see in the statues and the stories. Okay, that arrogance. And some of these jealous people would do, right? So it lines up, and the overwhelming amount of evidence shows us that they caused that to occur. They've even caused a change in my facial, the appearance of my face by causing various things to occur. One, it caused like my face to be like sucked up a little bit, right? Where, there's it's less flesh and it's less healthy because of them changing my diet by fuming and poisoning me and so on and so forth, and messing up my brain's ability to distribute the nutrients in my body to create the beautiful face that I worked for from years and years of being righteous and doing martial arts and years and years of, I still do some push-ups and stuff from time to time, but my body shape has significantly changed. And of course, I'm about 43 years old now. Okay. And the first challenge I made back in 2012 was like in May 6th or May 4th, 2012. And I was only 30 years old then. I was going to turn 31 later that year. Okay. And so I'm 43 now. So if you do it by like that, right? That first challenge was 13 years ago. And then the next year, at the end of the year, was the famous top martial arts challenge that so many people have heard about and so many martial artists were buzzing about and still are buzzing about. That eventually raised the how much you'd win if you magically managed to win to, I think we're at either $10 million if compensated or $100 million. In fact, because the system owes me that money, okay, I'll go ahead and say that it's at $100 million right now. If you allow me to recover, right, you get $50 to show, pay nothing if you lose, okay. So again, they can't beat me, especially in this day and age. Because tech breeding, cheating, all this, so many people have been sabotaged, so many people have been so sabotaged that, they're no match for me. If I was allowed to recover, I'd win, more easily than I would have won before. Okay? And that sabotage to me is unbelievable. Even though everyone's cheating me out of my right to lead, Okay, it's still sad to see them sabotage the poor to pretend that their genes are superior. It's very, very sick. And then to, take what little they have, right? They're attractive women. What's left of them after they've been taking them for generations and giving them to token minorities and their friends and their allies, and trying to breed with the most healthy and attractive genes to feed into the misconception that magically they're superior or some, okay, which is unbelievable. That's eugenics. That's social engineering, social Darwinism, scientific racism. They're dark and sinister application of biology and demographics, also known as biodemography. When you merge those two ideas together, what are the physiological ideas and the attempts to alter people's physiology, okay, and things related to the concepts of biology, biological processes, creating biological dysfunction, what have you, and demographics, racial demographics, religious, sub-racial demographics, family-based demographics, patriarchal line-based demographics. You see what I'm saying? So when we look at this picture, it's still clear that I win. Because you look at that, you say, look, Bruce Lee's not getting past that defense. He's not going to be able to cut the distance. He's not going to get past the defense. And I'm very, very effective with my striking with my kicks. In fact, it was like the second or third challenger. I scored most of my points with my front kick. Okay, quite often people are so afraid of that world record hand speed that they underestimate that my front kicks are the best in human history as well. Okay, those front kicks were no joke. Okay, especially the distance this covered, the speed, the accuracy. I'm very coordinated. I'm the most coordinated person that ever lived. Okay, in terms of martial coordination, striking coordination. I'm not a figure skater. I'm not an acrobat or a gymnast. But in terms of that martial and striking coordination, that hand-eye, foot-eye, okay, there's no way in hell anyone could have a chance to beat me. My agility is unmatched. My speed is unmatched. My reflexes, my intelligence, my martial combat intelligence, okay, and on and on and on. My wisdom that goes into, there's no way to beat me. I'm just so much more intelligent, so much wiser, so much more smart than other people, so much more, God set me apart. And I'm not bragging. God created me. I didn't create myself. God created my family that led up to me. I'm not my family that led up to me. Okay? We're connected in certain ways. God created them and God created me. So all praises to God, but make no mistake, God set me apart and rewarded me for my due diligence, my prudence, my loyalty, my faith, my discipline, my righteousness, my justice. Okay, which is God's justice being conveyed through me. God rewarded me for obedience, obeying Him. And in turn, God commands people to obey God through me. And I ask you to honor that command. And that's the situation. Okay, these things are true. I'm sure by now you know that I'm reliable. Other people are lie-able, and I'm reliable. No wordplay, no gimmicks. Okay, I don't use secret wordplay codes. I explain wordplay to you. I don't deal in secret codes. I tell you the truth, the way, the truth, and the life, speaking plainly. Like Bruce Lee said, a direct attack is the best attack, and it's a direct attack on falsehood and the spirit of falsehood, the spirit of organized rape by deception, the spirit of rebellion and Satanism, and on and on and on. Okay? I tell the truth.